¿Qué tal amigos? Bienvenidos a un nuevo video aquí en el canal. Estoy muy contento de estar nuevamente con todos ustedes. Así es, señores, como lo vieron ustedes en la miniatura, como ustedes lo vieron en el título. Así es, vuelve Pam Bondi, señores, aquí al canal. Vuelve Pam Bondi. Y bueno, la verdad es que esto se está desmoronando, está colapsando totalmente la administración de Donald Trump. Pam Bondi, la verdad es que tiene el prestigio por los suelos, la verdad, lo poco que le queda lo está arrastrando totalmente. Y cómo no, si realmente está haciendo muy malas cosas y sobre todo de que la gente está sospechando cada vez más, un servidor incluido, de que está retrasando todo lo posible los archivos de Jeffrey Epstein por proteger a Donald Trump. Así que, bueno, quédense porque va a estar muy bueno el video. Vamos a ver las mentiras de Pam Bondi. Así que, bueno, adelante con las imágenes.
Top Trump officials were set to attend a dinner at the vice president's residence at the Naval Observatory this evening. On the menu, a strategy discussion on how to handle fallout from the administration's own handling of the Epstein files. Now, after intense coverage, officials tell CNN that the dinner is now in flux. In fact, some people in the Trump administration say this dinner was never actually going to happen. Now, we stand by the story here at CNN. Either way, we don't know whether it's ultimately going to be called off or moved to another location, rescheduled. In any case, as we noted, Vance's office denied such a meeting was taking place. The expected attendees, we've been reporting here at CNN, Vice President JD Vance, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who recently conducted a 2-day interview with Epstein accomplice and convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, those interviews would be a major talking point as the administration weighs whether to release an audio recording and transcript of Blanche's meetings with Ghislaine Maxwell. A senior Trump official tells CNN that there are more than 10 hours of audio. 3 sources tell us there have also been discussions around Todd Blanche possibly holding a news conference or doing a high-profile interview about this topic, perhaps with podcaster Joe Rogan, who has been highly critical of the administration's handling of the Epstein case. A reminder that not all of these Trump officials have seen eye to eye on every one of these agenda items. Let's just say if the dinner happens, hopefully Susie Wiles would be a buffer sitting between Pam Bondi and Kash Patel. One official tells CNN that some in the White House worry that making the Maxwell interview details public would just further revive the Epstein controversy. So regardless of whether or not a strategy dinner happens, this does seem like a good opportunity for we here at The Lead to try to give the attendees something else to chew on. A sincere message and some notes, if you will, of what I think would help this whole controversy. Number one, put the victims above everything else. Many of you in the administration have been talking about Epstein victims for months, for years. Do you have any relationship with any of the women who were trafficked and abused by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell? This morning, the family of victim Virginia Giuffre issued a statement asking why no survivors had been invited to this dinner meeting. And some members of the family offered to go in Virginia Giuffre's place because she died by suicide earlier this year. They wrote, quote, "The victims' voices must be heard above all." That's the most important thing. Number two, stop acting like we don't know what you're doing. You could all release a bunch of Epstein documents this minute if you wanted to. Remove the names of the victims and do it. Go ahead. Instead, there's all this nonsense about leaving everything up to the court. The House Oversight Committee, led by Republicans yesterday, they're the ones leading the charge on this, issuing subpoenas to the Justice Department for files and information related to Epstein. We know that you can release documents right now. We know that. Number three, please stop acting as if you guys weren't the ones who promised to release these documents. You did. We were paying attention.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released. by my office.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review.
A truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
That's the FBI director. Number 4, when and if you release any of these files, beyond the victims, of course, please do not protect any one person. If you're going to release names of Epstein associates who didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but they're mentioned in these files, then release all of those names. If you cherry pick, redact this guy, but not that guy, it's going to be worse. You're going to make it worse on yourselves. You'll extend this whole thing. And of course, people will accuse you of a cover-up because that's what you will be doing. Number 5, real transparency. Please don't take this personally. Leaders have proven untrustworthy when it comes to the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, going back decades. No one is going to get the benefit of the doubt. So please just release as much and as many of the transcripts as you can, as much of the audio as you can. While you're at it, please explain exactly why last week Ghislaine Maxwell was moved from a Florida prison to a much lower security federal prison camp in Texas. It was an uncommon move. It came right on the heels of her discussions with Deputy Attorney General Blanche. Really fishy looking. No explanation has been given. This is all just getting worse and worse for you. Number 6, in terms of the files, don't forget the Treasury Department documents on Jeffrey Epstein.
Somewhere in the Treasury Department, Mr. President, locked away in a cabinet drawer, is a big Epstein file that's full of actionable information. Follow the money details about his financing and operations that await investigation.
That was Democratic Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon last month. He's not just speculating. Treasury Department officials under the Biden administration actually allowed Wyden's staff to view the files, and Wyden says they contain records relating to more than $1 billion sent to Jeffrey Epstein, plus a lack of timely suspicious activity reports filed by banks handling that money. Why would the banks not do that? He said the Treasury documents show that Epstein used multiple Russian banks to process payments related to sex trafficking. These are potential leads. Follow the money. And finally, our last bit of advice for you on this. Number 7, don't forget what this is about. This is about justice. It defies logic that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell are the only 2 people who had knowledge of or involvement in this vast sex trafficking ring, and yet they're the only ones ever brought to justice. So don't you want to bring the full weight of the justice system down upon anyone else who may have had any hand in this hideous sex trafficking ring, many of the victims of whom were children? Don't you? It's hero time. You can be heroes here. All right. That concludes our notes to the Trump officials who may attend any sort of Epstein strategy meeting one way or the other. Just one more tip for any of the guests. If you do go to Vice President Vance's dinner, don't forget to say thank you. He likes it when you thank him. Let's go to CNN's Kristen Holmes at the White House. Kristen, the White House is saying this dinner never was supposed to happen. It's all made up. It's all fake news.
Well, Jake, I do want to clarify a little bit here because so many sources inside of the White House and inside of Vice President Vance's orbit had told us that this meeting existed, and no one is actually denying that they were going to have.
Bien, señores, pues ya vimos realmente todo lo que está pasando, o sea, esto literalmente nunca sucedió, pues tenían planes de que sucediera pues todo este tema con la famosa cena, pero bueno, no sucedió a final de cuentas, solamente esto se levantan más y más sospechas en contra de Pam Bondi, señores, en contra de Kash Patel, que es un aliado total de Pam Bondi también y de Donald Trump, pero bueno, es algo que también yo les he planteado desde hace tiempo aquí en el canal, era de que por qué están retrocediendo tanto. Incluso llegué a ver esta misma imagen en redes sociales donde decían que estos eran los integrantes del cártel de Trump. Así es, esa es como que esa banda de digamos, delincuentes a palabras de redes sociales, que este era el cártel de Trump, que literalmente estaba destruyendo a los Estados Unidos, que estaba, digamos, pues protegiendo intereses muy poderosos que la verdad afecta a muchas personas. Y bueno, se los había comentado hace tiempo, este tipo de cosas pues afectaron lamentablemente a muchísimos menores de edad de cualquier género, afectaron a muchísimos infantes, muy lamentablemente, para satisfacer las perversiones de estas personas y pues tienen conocimiento de ello pues totalmente Pam Bondi, sobre todo Pam Bondi, este video señores saben que está dirigido a Pam Bondi, una crítica a Pam Bondi sobre todo este tema porque ellos tienen conocimiento total de qué estaban haciendo en esa famosa isla, qué personas iban, qué es lo que hacían, cuántos menores de edad llevaban a esa isla y sobre todo como en aquel momento cuando habíamos hecho el, el video aquí en el canal sobre una crítica del senador, no recuerdo el nombre, bueno, pero ustedes saben a quién me refiero, que estaba haciendo la crítica a Pam Bondi de que rastreen el dinero. Entonces, ¿para qué sirve el FBI? ¿Para qué sirve el equivalente de la unidad de inteligencia financiera de Estados Unidos? ¿Para qué está? ¿Para qué está? O sea, ¿qué están haciendo? O sea, es realmente el tiempo se los come, el tiempo está sobre ellos, pasan los días y no dicen nada, pasan los días y están diciendo pura tontería, mucha palabra vacía, y obviamente están esperando a que pasen otras cosas para desviar la atención pública. Y es algo que ellos no pueden negar, señores, es algo que no pueden negar y es algo que estamos viendo día tras día, tras día, tras día. Ahorita el foco de atención, señores, sigue el tema con lo de la redistribución de distritos en el estado de Texas y todo ese, digamos, todo ese tema le cae como anillo al dedo al presidente Donald Trump. ¿Por qué? Porque ganan un día más para poder estar ganando tiempo para ver qué van a hacer con esa información. Y la gente lo está pidiendo a cada momento, en cada oportunidad, y cuando no hay oportunidad también lo dicen. ¿Y saben qué es lo que pasa? No van a mostrar nada. No van a mostrar nada. Van a preferir que se acabe el mundo a mostrar eso. Porque Pam Bondi y Kash Patel están defendiendo a Donald Trump. Y hay que decirlo. Hay que decirlo. Porque si no es a Donald Trump, pues no sé a quién. Y se supone que ellos son los liberadores, autodenominados liberadores del mal en el mundo prácticamente. Así de malas cosas. Pero bueno, señores, hasta aquí el video. Me encantó estar nuevamente con todos ustedes. Me encantaría saber sus opiniones al respecto. Pam Bondi se está desmoronando totalmente y tiene prácticamente nula credibilidad ante este tema y cualquier otro. Pero bueno, señores, hasta aquí el video. Les mando un abrazo. Suscríbanse. Ya llegamos a 11,000 suscriptores aquí en el canal. La verdad les agradezco con el corazón en la mano por creer en el proyecto. Esto sinceramente empezó como un proyecto personal nada más, pero afortunado de saber que hay más personas que comparten las opiniones que uno emite aquí en el canal. Muchísimas gracias, les mando un abrazo y nos vemos en el siguiente video. Bye bye.